Hello, welcome to our podcast. Let's call a thing a thing.
I am Becky,
And I am Amy.
and today we are going to talk about
Expectations. Hello, you.
hello, my friend,
This is Amy
and I'm Becky.
for Let's Call a Thing.
A thing.
Oh, God.
My goodness.
We have to say it out loud. We are in the same
Room. Oh my God.
I am back, officially back to Canada.
Yes.
Gatineau/Ottawa. And we are in our new house in the reinvented studio.
Yes.
And I'm with my bestie, Becky. And I cannot believe it.
It's unreal.
It is. Because we've been building this podcast virtually since the beginning.
Absolutely. The website, the YouTube page, everything was like we were both in our each country.
Yeah, we were brainstorming far
Yes.
apart of each other. And oh God, it's so good to feel your vibe in front of me for real.
In the same room, and it's even unreal because I was so used to watch like the because I'm watching you in the eye right now, and I'm like almost a little disturbed because I'm not used to it at all. No, it's true. It's like I'm watching you eye to eye, and I'm like, well, I'm a little shy or something.
I am live, and
am
I'm not
live.
a robot.
I'm real.
And you know, it's kind of related to the subject of our podcast today,
Yes.
because we were expecting this moment to happen.
Yeah.
We had big expectation to be in front of each other, and the vibe. I would think, oh my God, the vibe is gonna be amazing when I'm gonna be in
Yes.
front of her. We're gonna be happy as
As
I can say it
hell.
as hell, or as what you want to say. And in this case, my expectations were real, like rencontrés.
Realistic.
My expectations were realistic.
Yes.
And it's not always the case.
No, it is not. And remember, we said, I don't know if it was in the first or second episode, we were saying, when it's going to happen, we're gonna explode.
Literally.
And I mean, we have to retain ourselves right now. Because guys, it's unreal. It really is unreal, but that's how we are together. The experience of that podcast is so crazy, unreal. I mean, we learn through the episode because we are building it as it comes and as we plan it, and sometimes we even change the plan. And the thing is, we're the boss, so we can do anything we want in a certain way with preparation.
Yeah.
And yes, we just are free.
And it's so liberating,
yes.
right?
That's why we're so like in the moment when it
Yeah.
happened. And it was like that for me, even in my kitchen and in her bedroom, you know? For me, the experience was like that.
You're right. And when we began that, we're still in a pandemic, but it was worse when we began
Oh,
that
yes.
podcast together.
Oh, yes.
So it was the feeling of freedom was so intense because that was a thing that we could control 100%.
Totally.
Like besides everything else that we could not control, like school. So it was good. It was really good. And
Yes. It's a liberation in a certain way. It was.
Yes.
It was. And it still is, but
And it's gonna still is, I'm sure.
yes, it still is.
Yeah. And
Yes.
oh God.
My gosh.
And I can still remember our brainstorming of new ideas for the podcast, and you said a word that hit me, and you said, oh, Amy, I'm sorry, but expectations.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Yes.
And I was, oh, this is a big one, Becky.
Yes.
Yes, but not now.
We're going to choose the moment for that.
Yeah. And now this is the moment.
It is. It is a moment.
Yeah. So we're talking about this big word. Well, for us, it is a big word, expectation, but not only expectations at large, but towards siblings / parents, friends, colleague at work,
yes,
bosses.
Yes.
It's different. Our expectations is different depending of the person we are in front of.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember even saying that in that episode that for me, I was feeling that my expectations were really different toward my friends versus my sibling or parents, even husband, and even kids. That it was like two separate category, if I may say, that my expectation toward my friends were much more realistic than toward the other person that I just named.
So your family members,
yes,
for you set expectation higher than your friends. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So much more high, so much more unrealistic.
I feel actually a little bit scared. To be honest with you,
yes.
I am scared.
Yes, I am. How do you call that? You know, I have a big anticipation. Yes,
oh
and it's freaking hot in the room because we're two hotties. First of all, and second, it's a sensitive subject,
it is.
Emmy, and that's why we wanted to go there, but we're not gonna hide anything.
No,
we're not. But that's why we have a little something in the stomach right now.
Yeah, because what you said, I made you repeat it just to be sure I understood well. When you said your expectations are higher in front of your family member, I feel it. I feel it too. Okay. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Big time.
Yeah.
And especially towards, like, let's say my mom, because she's a woman, like woman to woman. For me, I expect more because in my head.
Is it because it's your model and then?
No, it's because she's a woman.
Okay.
Because she's a woman, she's gonna understand me 100% on everything.
Because she's a woman and you are a woman. Exactly. I understand. That's how you think, basically. Yes.
And by the way, she's my mother. So
a second reason to, yes.
It comes together.
Yeah.
But and everybody know that it's not true. She's not going to give me 100% of my expectations.
No.
And it's never going to happen. And it's
no.
And the thing really hard about it is that I need to accept that this is okay.
And
my God, I have goosebumps.
And to
I
be
hate
frank,
saying that, but it's true.
Because I already said that Emmy and I are not from the same generations. And the thing is, why we're connected that much? First, it's because we have the same kind of soul. And second, she realized stuff much younger than me in some occasions. And you're so happy for that person because you're telling yourself, at least she's not going to lose. I don't know if you're losing your time. It's a gift in a certain way.
She's going to gain more at the end of the day.
I prefer your expression. Yeah. You're not going to lose your time, but you're going to gain more rapidly.
Yeah, because you're always learning. Even if you didn't realize stuff at a younger age. It's not that you're losing your time.
No,
it's just that you're not there.
You're so true.
And you're still learning.
Absolutely. And I remember that on my part, on my side, I realized that my expectations toward my mother specifically.
Oh, you too?
Boy.
More than your dad?
It's two different things.
Okay, so Okay, I didn't know that.
No, I know. That's why we didn't talk about it before the podcast, which is the great thing. I'm not sure that I had that much expectations toward my dad. And especially because we have a bond together, because he's a musician and I have the same kind of soul on that side. So it's like it was already there, the connection between him and I. You know, I was singing with him. I was like 3 years old. But toward my mother, just to give that example, with my mother, it's probably much more like you and yours.
Okay.
It's like she's my rock. Not that my dad wasn't, but I am a woman. So I was looking to my mother.
As a model?
As a model. You know, in the house, she was doing everything. She still is. But what I mean, when I was young, she's very efficient.
Okay.
She's looking at the news. She knows everything that goes in the world. She have a memory that nobody can beat. And that's kind of ironic because my dad in his world is the best of the best. You know what I mean?
You mean his world of music?
Exactly.
Okay, because he's a showman, right?
Yes, he's a showman. He's a pianist, organist. He sings. You know, he learned very young, and he learned it himself. You know, he was born with it. And my mom, on her side, she was very talented. Also, she cooked. She can build a
shed.
A shed.
Yeah.
The only thing she doesn't do is the electricity. So when I was looking at my mother, there's something that I didn't even calculate that was put in my brain saying, hey, I have to be like that.
Okay.
I have to become that person.
So you had expectation, yes, towards your mom, but towards yourself as well.
Even if I didn't realize that was my model. So I had to become her, and very fast, because I'm not the same kind of person. I'm me, she's her.
Would you consider yourself now in 2021 as another version of your mom?
Now, I'm going to say it, I'm 45 years old. Now, I took what was the best in a certain way from my mother, but now, instead of trying to become her, which was the case before in my 20s.
It was your intentions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, it was an automatic. She's my model. I have to become like she is.
It makes sense at this age, at 20.
Eh oui. 20, 21, even early 30s. And then in my 30s, I was like, well, that part of her, not that she's not good or it's a bad thing. I'm not like that. Like I said, and and I swear, it's not negative what I'm saying.
No.
I'm calling the thing, okay?
Yeah,
Let's call a thing. Not that it's not a good thing or
that she's a bad person.
It's very not a nice way to do stuff. No, it just doesn't
not you.
fit with me.
And I feel
and
the
I
same.
didn't realize that until less than 5 years ago.
Less than 5 years ago.
Less. So I was 40. Can you? So that's why sometimes I'm saying, hey, that's a good thing. You're that young in a certain way.
By the way, I'm 30, so I'm not 15.
No, but yeah,
Just
but
so you know, guys.
Yes, but that's why I'm happy for you about that. But I'm not gonna say, well, I lost my like you said earlier.
Oh,
I didn't lose my time because of that.
I see what you mean, but I feel everything what you said with your mom, and that I'm gonna take the best in her, keep it for me, and the rest of her that doesn't fit with my personality, I would just let it go. And it's totally fine, but so hard to accept that you're not 100% or you don't agree with everything that your mom think or do. And
that's the other part.
Again, it's not because we are judging her.
No, at all. Not at all. That's not the point.
Oh, we're not going there.
They have the right, our mothers, they have the right to be themselves. Oh, and same for us.
Yes, because have daughters too.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's another.
Another layer.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay, there is so much layers in that word, expectations.
Yes.
And you were talking to me about a quote from Will Smith that really changed my vision of it, of the word itself. Please, could you tell it again for me?
Well, it's because I'm a big fan of Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith, who is Will Smith's wife, partner, a girlfriend, and a businesswoman. And I really am a big fan of that show because they're saying the right thing, and that's why I'm a big fan, and it touches me, it talks to me. And I was happy that it was Will Smith that says one day, expectations is the mother of all deceptions. And I said to myself, there you go. That is exactly what I needed to hear. And second, when you know better, you do better. As Maya Angelou will say, another quote that I didn't expect, okay? But it's true. It's so true. Now, am I going to say that I always apply this?
Oh, this is the hard part.
Every day? It's not true, but I'm trying. Nothing will be realistic. So you are gonna be disappointed. When you realize that and you're trying to put that into your life like every day, you are more and more free because you're not putting someone into a box. Let's put the expectation as a box over the head of that person, because that person is, let's say, your mother. That box of expectations come with it. That's how you plan your brain, or you calculated it, and then it's like, no. So that person in front of you is more real in a certain way. I'm getting emotional because they have right to be themselves.
Oh God, yes.
And I am right to be myself. Expectations, for me, it ruined a lot of things toward people around me that I love. I don't know where I took that. Is it a society thing? I don't know.
And you know what it makes me think? Expectations is often, or maybe all the time, something that you would not explain to people. You would not tell them, hey, this is what I expect from you, by the way.
It's so true.
It takes courage to tell your expectations to someone you love. And I could easily remember my past relationships with boys when I was like 16, 17. I would expect them to be in a certain way and then be first, of course, disappointed. Like you said, it's the mother of the disappointment. But also angry about them.
Yes!
Not to respect my expectations, but how could they know? How could they... No, and after one of a love story I had with a boy, he left me because we were young and barely 19, and we had experiences to do. So he left me, and I was in crazy...
You had a broken heart.
Yeah, deep broken heart. And at this age, everything is more intense.
Absolutely.
And after 3 months of crying everywhere I went, my mom said, okay, I have a cousin that she's a psychotherapist. Go talk to her. Like, she's gonna be a help for you. I think you need this. By the way, thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. I didn't expect that, but you went over my expectation.
Yeah.
By the way, you did so good stuff for me. Thank you. So I arrived there, and her cousins said, okay, what's the problem then? What was the problem with him? And I said, well, he never called at like every week or so. He never bring me stuff. He never did this or so. I don't remember all the stuff I wanted him to do, but I told her that all my need that was unfulfilled. And she said, oh, I hated her at that moment. She just said to me, and did you tell him?
Hey, boy.
Oh, no.
Even me, I'm like...
Shut up.
Yeah.
Sure, I needed it, but I wasn't ready, and I thank you for telling me that at that moment. But she was right. I've never Never told him, hey, by the way, I need that right now.
Yes.
I need to be reassured right
Oui.
now. Because it's really vulnerable, right? To say that to someone.
Ben oui. Big time.
So, this is one of my...
Realization.
Yeah, at a young age. But see, sometimes it's just because it's untold that it's worse.
Totally.
And it's hard.
And I can relate to that because, being with my husband for like that many years, it's something that I still...
We have to work it all over again. It's crazy. It's never done.
No, it's never done.
Yeah.
And for the last couple of years, I realized that, of course, I was doing the same thing with my husband. And
You mean the same thing as you don't tell everything?
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm expecting him to do stuff
And to understand.
But he's the last one to know, almost.
Yeah.
Because I would have maybe talked about that thing with you as my friend, because we're friends for 10 years, and he doesn't have a clue. So, it doesn't make sense, look.
And for sure, you're going to be disappointed. And
Of
big time.
course.
Big time.
Of course. So now, if I compare who I was like 15 years ago, and now it's different. So I know myself more. So I know what I needed the most. And now I can say, hey, baby, this, do you mind if I'm asking you this because I needed it, blah, blah, blah. So we have a discussion about it. Mm-hmm. And it's realistic.
And sometimes, do you agree that it's so small things?
Hey, it's really
ridiculous.
Simple things.
Yes. And like, let's say, I'll say an example with me and my husband right now.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm feeling more anxious than other times because we know in the military life, we are always facing new adventures with postings, new movings and stuff.
Yes.
So me, before a big trip or a moving phase, change of house and change of country sometimes.
Yes.
I would totally need to be reassured by him. And a few years ago, I would expect him to understand that I needed... Yeah, you're looking at me with your big eyes like, like I've been there, I don't know.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
But now I am, and it's not since a long time that I'm doing this, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say 5 years ago, since it's been 5 years, I would say that I worked that way with him. When I need something, and it could be really simple, like I would say, okay, chérie, just come here, just a second, come here, close the door, just telling you something really important. And he's like, what's happening? And he thinks it's a really big thing. I'm like, just calm down. I'm not sleeping with another one.
It's just that you and I are not intense. That is why.
And I would just ask him, okay, you need to understand that I feel anxious. You did nothing wrong. You said nothing wrong. The kids are fine. Everything is okay. But right now, I just need to listen to a show on Netflix. And please don't disturb me for 45 minutes. I need that right now.
To calm
down.
I
expect you and my kids, please do not disturb me. And after that, I'll be yours.
Yeah.
And it's simple as an episode on Netflix.
Yes. As simple as that.
Yes. And in the past, I would tell myself, oh no, I'm never going to ask that. He's going to think I am picky or demanding or a princess. Excuse me. It is not to be a princess to tell your need to someone.
And is it a bad thing to need time for yourself for 45 minutes every week?
But
that's another thing that we put
as a mom,
over.
As a mom, it's hard to give us permission.
It's like we have no rights to have time for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, we could do another episode. Like motherhood.
Well, I'm taking notes.
Yes.
It's done.
Yes. So, I understand what you just said. Like, you just ask him, and I'm sure he said, no problem. You can watch your show and everything is fine. I'll take care of the kid.
Because he respects me.
Ben oui.
And he understands me because
and he love you big time.
Oh.
Yes. You know,
Oh,
he's your chérie.
Yeah, because I always say to him, "Oh, chérie," means sweetie.
Oh, yeah. We're so lucky to have great husbands.
Yes, we are.
And we're loved. We can feel it, and they are loved. But we know we are lucky.
When I knew we were talking about expectations, I did a lot of research online because this word was important to me, but I didn't know it was that important.
Yeah, okay.
Until I did my research and I found something that I think is very interesting to talk about. And it's a TED Talk.
Okay.
And it's called Great Expectations, ?
Oh.
It's Elizabeth Higgins Clark. It's an actress and writer. I didn't know her.
Okay.
She's talking about her brother David that has Fragile X syndrome. I've never heard about this. It's a genetic disorder that is leading to learning disabilities, develop delays, and social behavior problems. This TED Talk really shows the difference between the expectations between siblings and parents. And I was able to quote her by writing, so everything I'll say, she said it exactly the way I will read it to you.
Okay.
I didn't change anything.
Okay.
So I'll start. She said, "Mom cried as she wondered why this had to happen to David, who is her brother.
Yes.
Why he had to go through life like this. And I would say to her, Mom, why would you focus on what's wrong when there is so much right? David is kind and patient and loving, and he can remember the name of every person he's ever met. He could have had a typical brain and an ordinary life and been a real jerk that no one likes. So honestly, I think that this is really much better, Mom." Okay? And then she paused for a moment and she says, "You can't understand." And she's right. I can't. Because I've never looked forward to the day the training wheels would come off his bike. I never anticipated this boy becoming a man. I never dreamed of the life that he could have. Being a sibling of a person with intellectual differences is very different than being a parent. You see, she said, when David was born, a few months after my 4th birthday, I didn't have hopes for him. I didn't have dreams for him. I didn't have expectations.
Wow. And just to make sure, she's his sister.
Yes. So because she never, since her young age, she was 4 when her brother was born. At this age, you don't have expectations.
Ben no.
You're just happy of what you received in the moment. This is the best lesson ever.
Big time.
We should think as a 4-year-old in our brain and say, okay, this person probably and for sure is not perfect. I'm gonna take everything that's good for me and enjoy it without expectations in me.
And focus on the positive, like she said,
Like
instead
she said.
of focus on what you got instead of focusing on what you don't have.
And what I liked about this is this woman, Elizabeth Higgins Clark, she never learned that because she always knew that since she was 4. So for me, that's why it resonated to me. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you are making me realizing thing right now
Means
because
that we all already know that. Bam!
Because the thing is, so it means, and I'm just going to say it like right as I understand it, so it really depends on who you're looking at.
The label.
The label.
It's like Post-its. In my head, I realized that every person in my life has Post-its on their face.
As
like
a label,
Okay, label, she's friend.
On their forehead.
Yeah, she has friends' expectations. He has a dad expectations to me because it's my dad and so on and so on. But those post-its are not supposed to be there.
No, and maybe Elizabeth, maybe if he has a label on his forehead.
You mean her brother?
Yes. Even if she put the label on, she never put the expectations that goes with that label.
Oh, so that means it depends on when you put on the post-its. So you don't have to remove the label, but you have to adjust it. So
the expectations.
Okay, I see.
You know what I mean? Because the label is always there.
Yeah, and
what I mean is
will be.
Yes.
I'm learning.
For me, well, maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel it right now. That's why, and it for me, maybe it's because she understood something at a really young age also. Because if I compare, because I have a sibling and you don't.
Yeah.
I had expectations.
Since your young age or more lately in your life, are you able to determine that?
As I was growing up, I should, yes, that's the feeling that I have. I'm not maybe 100% sure because I didn't thought about it before you asked.
Because it's a big question. Like, would you say as a teenager, did you have expectations toward your sister? She's younger than you, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
I think I had, but I wasn't able yet
to process it.
To understand how it worked. Mm-hmm. You know. Yes, but I think I had some. I'm pretty sure I had some.
And sometimes I guess we are feeling uncomfortable about someone or something and we don't understand it. And it's after like years that you're like, oh, I was disappointed because I had expectations.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's a long process.
And for me, I can tell you, if I'm thinking about my mother, my sister, I was, yes, disappointed. But like I said, it's because I was taking that label and under that, I had like expectations, number 1, number 2, number 3.
Okay.
And I know that I have exactly done that for with my mother and with my sister. I know I have done that big time. The thing is, it's like, I think it's a social thing. Where did I took that? When did it happen?
Right.
How come it's like that? Because, you know,
that's a good question and I don't want to answer it.
And I have no clue today. I have no clue today.
Me neither.
Where it's coming from.
You mean where do we learn expectations, to have expectations from others?
Yes, and yeah.
Probably from, it's totally random, but I was watching movies big time when I was young.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, over and over and over, Disney's and other kinds of movies, and you would see as a child those family that had some issues but always said sorry at the end of the movie, and you were like, oh, this is cute. Or you would expect after a movie, a family movie, that okay, the brothers did something wrong, he's gonna say sorry and everything's gonna be fine. So when you finish the movie and you go through your family, you're like, okay, so I expect that my dad or my mother is gonna say sorry because she or he did something wrong.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Oh, I've never realized that.
Moi non.
Since
Me
today.
neither.
But definitely it makes sense to me because I was addicted to television when I was young. Movies and television.
I mean, maybe I was not addict, but I was watching television and movies big time, no? Mm-hmm. And you know, the princess at the end.
We have big expectations when we're looking at Disney's princesses and prince.
Well, there you go.
Oof.
That's what I said. It's a social thing.
You oh my God, you planted a seed and then I saw it growing.
Again,
girl,
you and I.
Bam.
Again, that's why we're doing this podcast, guys. It's because every time we talk to each other about something, we realize stuff. And it's not because we're stupid. It's just sometimes we didn't ask ourselves the question.
I'm just
I
thinking
never
so deep.
thought of mon
So what do we do with that? I feel like I need to process it more.
Me too.
Because you have a daughter of 8, mine is 7, okay?
Yes.
Okay, they're watching a lot of Netflix.
Ben oui.
Okay, que it's a
lot of Disney
Yeah.
and the princess and the prince, and so it means that
we have work to do. Girl.
Exactly.
We have work to do. Shit. I'm sorry.
No, but that's fine. But you know what? We have to let them be kids.
Oh, for sure.
Okay? It's part of it. It's part of it.
I didn't realize those kind
Me
of
too. Me too. Me neither. But now they're kids. So they have rights to be kids. Mm-hmm. And they have rights to believe in Santa Claus and everything. It's part of all that. Because it's moment that I cherish when I was a kid,
Me too, Santa Claus and the fairy
and
tale.
everything, and the princess and the prince, but if we are going to explain to them one day that they have to take care of them and they have to be aware that, and I already have started to say that to her, that, princess and prince of charm. I already started.
Okay, so
yes,
you're not starting at zero.
No,
from zero. Okay,
not from scratch at all. Mm-hmm. She knows that it's a story and it's not real life.
Let's say like stories and fairy tales and stuff. So does that make us the right to pop their bubble?
Well, you know what?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but in a certain way, she knows that at an age that she's not going to have expectations.
She's not going to build on that.
No.
Oh, why?
So she's not going to be disappointed.
Makes sense.
Because she already know that. So when she's going to grow up, and believe me, I will have to remind her, but as she is going to grow up, she's not going to expect.
I had those conversations with her for sure. Like, okay, you know that a princess, it's not a job, you cannot apply to be a princess.
There you go.
It's not all it. And I would tell her, it's a story.
It's a fairy tale.
It's
not
make
real
sense.
life.
Still, I feel like I need to continue that dialogue with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like on a maybe daily basis at this point.
Almost, yeah. I think so.
They are watching TV once a day, I guess.
Ben oui.
Even if it's 30 minutes. They are, so.
So we already putting expectations. And I'm telling you, as I realize it.
I'm hot.
So it means that it's a society thing.
You were right.
Everything, I did, now I know, but, and my plan wasn't to be right or wrong, okay?
And it's not written in our plan of the podcast.
No, it wasn't planned, people. Believe me.
Expect that.
Oh no! Let's call a thing. We didn't expect that.
And another important thing, we have daughters, but I also have a son.
Yes.
And it's not just a daughter thing.
But no,
I would include my
not.
son as important as my daughter.
Yes.
Because he has a role to play. He's the prince in those fairy tales.
Exactly.
And I don't want him
exactly
to be, this prince, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he's 3, so I have time to make those conversations with him. But it could start like right now. I mean, he understands what I say. So Becky, I feel like we've been working for hours to realize that I am exhausted.
But this podcast for me, my sweet friend, is again a gift.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing because every single time we talk about something, we realize, we learn, and maybe in 6 months I would have to refocus because I would have realized something else.
And I have to say that it wasn't easy. This conversation for me was a work, and it's still a work in progress. But that's why I feel like we understood things, because it wasn't an easy thing.
Absolutely. And we have to be proud of that. Proud of that, my friend.
Becky, how would you describe them? Expectations in one word.
Not that I want to quote him, but it really is deception. Deceptions for me. For you?
I would say that expectations is unrealistic most of the time. I would say 90% of the time, in my case, it's always unrealistic.
So this is it?
Because we call the thing
a thing.
And that's it. We have nothing else to say, guys.
No.
This is it.
This is it.
For now.
Oh, yes.
But I have good expectations for the future episode for sure.
Oh, yes.
Those are not unrealistic.
Exactly.
Becky.
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks
so
to you.
Much.
Thank to you. And thanks for, as we already said, again, I'm repeating myself, but I'm getting old, so maybe that's why. I mean, we were raw again.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of being raw to each other, and that is a gift.
Thank you, Becky.
So much.
I love you. Bye. Thank you for being with us today.
We appreciate it and can't wait to be with you next month.
I am Amy.
And I'm Becky.
And let's call a thing
a thing.